Okay, let's try it out. What's up, party
Yo.
people? And welcome back to Dance Specific Talks. I'm Teaser.
What's up, everybody? I am Coach Sebastian, and we have a very special guest live in Amsterdam together with t-zer.
Oh my God, this beautiful, amazing lady next to me. Please introduce yourself for the people.
So good to be here. My name is Safi Harb, and I teach Raqs sharqi here in Amsterdam, also known as belly dance to the Western world.
I
Say
just
that name
told,
again. What's the name? What's the name?
say the name again.
So you can say it Raqs sharqi. We say that in the Lebanese dialect, or you can say Raqs sharqi in the like formal Arabic language, which means the dance of the Middle East. So
Wow.
I
Wow.
told
That was
Sebastian
my.
before we jumped on this podcast, I was like, we're going to learn some things today.
We're gonna learn some stuff
You are the
today.
first dancer from the style that we have ever had on this podcast, and over hundreds of dancers have been on it. So you are our representative for the
Up, up,
style.
up, up,
an honor,
up.
such an honor.
Yes. Well, first of all, I mean, you and I know each other. I've been the I got the honor to be in one of your women's circles very much lately, and you
Beautiful.
have classes around in the Netherlands, not just in Amsterdam. Can you just tell us, we are gonna backtrack a little bit, but when did you get here to the Netherlands, actually?
So, interesting story. I was born in the Netherlands. My parents are Lebanese. They were living here. And when I was around 5, 6 years old, they decided, well, they always wanted to go back, but they couldn't because of the situation. When I was around 5, 6, they were like, let's go back. Let's give these kids a proper upbringing with culture and religion and, you know, all these kind of things. And then when I was almost 18, there was a war happening in Lebanon. It was like a bad situation. And because I have the passport, I was able to get out and I came here alone and I started to study architecture. And I ended up being a belly dancer instead, which is very funny.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. So just because you had the passport, you had the ability to, yeah, escape,
Yeah,
literally.
I'm actually I call the Dutch passport the Holy Grail, which
Yeah.
is a very sad thing, you know. It's such a like a stupid little piece
Yeah,
of
it's ridiculous.
booklet that kind of decides almost your fate, you know, and it
Literally.
saddens me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I sit in the Cape Verde Islands where we have one of the, unfortunately, the weakest passports in the world. Like it's an absolute disgrace how we get treated as Cape Verdeans trying to leave, like trying to just going on vacation. It's a mission. And as a Swede, because I'm born and raised in Sweden, like Therese, right? So I have a both Swedish cab passport and a Cape Verdean passport. So just traveling with the with the Swedish passport, it's just like, yeah, you travel. Like
Yeah, yeah.
what? Visa? What are you talking about? Like what? I can't enter the country? Like this is a joke. That's how it is with the Swedish passport. First time I ever travel with the Cape Verdean passport is also the first time I ever get body searched in customs ever.
I
And I've
hear.
been to multiple countries, like 30 plus.
I'm so sorry to hear that. And isn't it interesting that the dances from these places travel without a passport and people in these countries in the West are enjoying all these dances so much. And like, that's why I really stand for this idea that we must give back to the cultures where we're dancing from, where we're having our dances born. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
Beautiful.
It's interesting also how Raqs sharqi,
Well said.
yes, Raqs sharqi has become this umbrella term. It's, I mean, what is the dance of the Middle East when there's so many countries involved and so many cultures there? Would you say that you dance a specific branch of it, or do you have a fusion going on, or how does it look like in this style?
Beautiful. So it's a bit of a complicated term. So Raqs sharqi, it's symbolizing mostly Egyptian style. So like these really like nice, juicy, flowy movements. It's when we visualize belly dance, we see that. And then you have folkloric styles that have different names like baladi, which means of the country, sha'bi, which means popular. And then you have other folkloric dance like Iraqi. Within Iraqi, you cannot say Iraqi dances. They have like qawliya. They have so many different names. In Lebanon, we have dabke, and then again, Moroccan dances, Algerian dances, Tunisian dances, all have also specific names. But I guess the more like what we know as belly dance, that's what's called Raqs shari.
That's so cool. I feel like this is such a interesting world because as soon as I met you, I was like, okay, I just really don't know anything, and you were the first class that I've ever tried, and you also have this very she's an amazing teacher. She makes everyone thinks that we can do whatever and that we are actually all good enough to try it. So you, it's really, really good. And you make us wear these little skirts with like the coins,
Yeah.
you know, the one that shimmery,
The ones that we all think about when we think
the
about
ones
belly
that we
dancing.
all think
Those
about.
ones, right? Those ones.
But it's not the only thing that you wear. Like I have also seen you in various outfits and so on. What is like your is this something that is like the entry level? Those little skirts, is that like something very common that everyone is wearing? Or is it just like you want everyone to kind of feel like we're a part of it?
Oh, of course. This is, of course, my intention. So the thing is with these scarves and the coins that wrinkle is that when people wear them and you tie them tightly around the hips and the pelvis, it helps you to sink into the body and it helps you to connect with that area of the body a bit more. And also, I feel like the the way that we're looking, in class, it can also contribute to the way we feel, right? The more we kind of like put effort into that. So people put on their scarf, and it's like when kids put on a cape. Suddenly I'm Shakira. Yeah. And you see them like, look at me. They take a mirror selfie. Oh, and it's just such a simple thing. The coins originally said that it was coming, from the Roma people that were traveling with dance, and they would get like the coins. They would get the coins. So, as a token of being very good dancers, they would gather a lot of coins. And then this idea of hip scarves with many coins came about. And
Interesting.
I
yeah.
never knew. I never knew. This is so cool. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
And okay, so when we see the vision of belly dance, we think, of course, of this costume with the bra and the skirt. And this is like colonialism. Yes, it was coming from burlesque or these kind of styles, this idea of the costume of the bra and the skirt. But the folkloric costumes were never like this. Like before belly dance became what it was very folkloric, earthy styles. And then there were like influences from ballet and theater coming in and also in the costuming, and it became this outfit. But
Sexualized.
yes. But the folkloric costumes, they were like really like nice wide dresses, and they would tie like the scarf really tight around the waist.
Isn't it fascinating how that always happens in dance? No, like
Oh,
it's the same thing with kizomba. Like kizomba is not our folklore. But if you look at kizomba from Angola, like this is not a sexual dance. This is
no.
not a dance that is supposed to,
But everything
and then
changes. As soon as it leaves the culture where it's from, everything changes. And
as soon as it
some
touches Europe, just say it as it is, t-zer. Stop
well,
it.
well,
Stop it.
put it like that. Yeah. Okay, well, interesting. To just bring it back then to like your culture. So when you were in your childhood, you moved back to Lebanon. Where was your contact? I mean, I know it, but I want everyone to know. Like what was your connection with dance? Where were you yeah, where did you meet dance? Was it at home? Was it outside of home? What was kind of your first influences of dance?
Your question touches me.
Mm.
So the first memories I have of this dance is from my mother. She's such a beautiful dancer. She's very simple. She would have just a couple of moves where she did like a little shoulder thing and a little flick with her foot. I miss her.
No.
And she was like known in the family as like one of the most beautiful dancers. And she told me like that she wanted to be a dancer, right? So it's kind of like ironic that I became that. And just looking at her, and every time we would go to my grandma's house with all my little nieces, we would turn on the music and we would dance. And there's always this idea like somebody's in the middle and you cheer them, you cheer for them like for life. And then you switch, and that's the way it goes. And I spend just hours and hours dancing in front of the mirror, pretending like I have an audience, pretending like I'm the movie stars. My father would watch a lot of Egyptian movies where you see these beautiful belly dancers of the 40s and 50s. So I would finish that and I would go and I would dance these dances in my room. But like I would never think like I would be able to do that on a stage or professionally or even teach. It's like this is something you do just like privately. Yeah.
And the women it was the women that you danced with. The men weren't like involved in this group setting, hyping up. It was for the women.
Yes.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And Lebanon is pretty chill. So you would have events, weddings where men and women are together. Also, you have a lot of men that for fun are dancing like this. It's totally, totally okay. It's not, in Lebanon, it's not completely separated. Yeah.
Wow.
The garment that you're wearing on your shoulder right now I'm assuming it's traditional, correct?
So this is actually a statement for Palestine.
Okay.
This is the kafia of Palestine. So
Is it a red Palestine shirt scarf?
it is a kafia. Sometimes I get bored of wearing my black and white kafia every single day. So I now make it a fashion
Spice it up.
statement.
I love that.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, this is also something to touch on. Like, I mean, I don't know a lot of teachers in Raqs sharqi, but it is definitely something I've seen on your social media is that you bring in this resistance into your classes. It's not just about taking a class. It's not just about learning a few hip moves. It's something way bigger than that. When you came back to the Netherlands, you were going to school, you were supposed to be something completely different, not a dance teacher. And how did the transition go from I love to dance to I want to share this dance and I want to share the culture and again like the resilience behind that culture and so on, like where did that transition happen?
Okay. So it's a bit of a long story, and I'm trying to just make it a bit summarized. So yeah, I came here when I was 18, I'm now 35, which is what?
High five, girls, same age.
How many years is that ago?
You guys are old. That's all I know. I don't know how
Listen,
many years.
listen,
You guys are
you're
old
just
as
1 year younger
shit.
than us, so don't you talk now.
Don't throw your oldness on me,
Oh.
old lady.
Wow. 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 Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, architecture is not my thing because calculating is not my thing. But anyways, it was my kind of like way out, either you become an architect, you become a lawyer, you become a doctor, and then you're good. Anything else, oh, poor daughter. Yay, she didn't do great. Anyways, I hated it. I quit. I tried another study. I quit. And there I was, like empty-handed in the Netherlands, like having bike accidents, hating my life, wondering why people eat such bad food and feel full. And then I was at a gym, and my taekwondo teacher at the gym, he was teaching Zumba. And he's like, listen, I know you like to dance and the women want to shake their hips. I don't want to do that. Do you want to come and teach half of my class? I was like, yes. I don't know how to do that, but I want to do that. So I went home, and to the drawing board, drawing like moves, thinking out steps. And I went to that class and I taught half of that class. And it was like, for the first time, I didn't feel like I'm a loser. I felt like, wow, this is what I love to do. This is what I'm meant to do. This is what I want to do. Like, I want to be a dancer. And then I started with teaching Zumba. And little later, I was like, you know what? Why not offer people a 15-minute free belly dance class after class? Just because it's more me. And people like those 15 minutes. So I started to teach belly dance also. And I was just learning as I was teaching. And now I've been teaching for 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is how it went down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I
That's
think
awesome.
I think it's so cool also how we often talk in this podcast about like you have gatekeepers and you have like gate openers. And like sometimes that who knew a Taekwondo teacher would, be a gate opener, but sometimes we don't know how much that little ask, that little question can change
Yeah.
someone's life.
Totally.
And I've
Totally.
seen it happen over and over again when you meet people and you just ask
Yeah.
them to come, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
push somebody to try something new, and it's just you just that person. You just that middle hand in somebody's journey, and maybe you don't even know it in the moment that you are changing the fate of somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Is that something you're conscious of? Is that a conscious decision almost, where it's like I would rather teach and just bring people to, I'm not saying that you're not doing shows, but like I would rather be an educator and versus like being the main character on stage, perhaps.
Mm. Beautiful question. So it's a bit sensitive because, okay, so I started with teaching and it was a bit difficult for my family to accept that, right? It took a while for them to really accept. I have amazing parents, but still Arab woman, Muslim woman doing belly dancing. Oh my God. Yes. So if I would go to Lebanon, they would say, just say you're a teacher, just be a teacher because the teacher, it's like still okay,
Mm.
right? And also because it would break my parents' hearts if I would be wearing that kind of costume, with the bra and the thing. So I didn't step in directly into this world of performing like a belly dancer. And in a way, I also feel it's not me, but that the things that I'm trying to create are maybe things that I would like to show in theaters or that are not maybe typically belly dance, but that we are, I guess, evolving. I don't want to say fusion because that's not exactly it, but I guess an evolved form of belly dance. I mean,
Yeah.
we can always create and recreate an art form, but keeping the essence. So this is now actually at the moment my journey. It's to focus more on how to create and to perform more.
With more
Nice.
storytelling rather than just a body performance, so to
Yeah,
speak, but to tell a story with your body and to tell something that is meaningful and that is beyond just the looks, beyond the crystals and all of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I saw this little clip from you when you have the henna in your hands, and I think you're wearing only black. But it was such a strong performance, and it just says so much about well, it's sad to say, but like maybe wrong to say potential of the style, but where I was like, this is how it also can be presented. This is how we also can see it. It doesn't because we also see a lot now is the clips that are going viral of belly dancers are usually tribal fusion dancers, usually white dancers,
A hundred
and
percent.
not that they don't dance beautiful, but it is a completely different thing to see a Russian tribal fusion dancer compared to somebody who's using it again for storytelling and almost like a yeah, a revolution.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
would love to. I would love to ask or to hear your opinion about this topic because it's something we've been speaking about before. What is your thoughts about, or I might share my thoughts first, and then you can just spin on it. When it comes to just culture, right? Because this is a culture we're talking about. Even when it comes to like salsa, bachata, kizomba, there is a lot of people that's like, no, you have to understand where it comes from. It's very important. You have to understand it. And part of me really, really understand it, right? Like I'm African, so there's definitely part of our culture that like just kizomba, like it's huge over here. Like the majority of the big artists that we're listening to comes from Cape Verde, but Cape Verde is reaping zero benefits from that. But it's originally from Angola. But I'm not sure that I think that you need to know and give a lot back to the culture more than just enjoying the dance, right? Because there are two sides of that coin. I think that one part of me says like, hey, like I just want to dance. Like, no, I don't want to learn about like hip hop dancing, right? Like, no, I don't want to learn about the culture of hip hop. I don't care where it comes from. It's a Thursday. I have 1 hour of break. I just want to disconnect from reality and have a good time. So that side exists, but it's also the other side where it's like, yes, well, but you wouldn't have that good time if you didn't know where it comes from. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've experienced that also because I'm
Yeah.
very vocal about what's happening in Palestine, the genocide at the moment. And I've had students come to my class and they tell me, but I come here to enjoy. I come here to have fun. I don't want to hear the problems of the Middle East. I don't want to hear. And then I'm like, don't come because they just want to have the good things, but they don't want to know the culture. And it's not that I'm going to spend an hour talking about it. I just dedicate one song. We stand still, one song, and then we move on. We're shaking, we're having fun. And
So
to
that's
me,
a staple
that's
in your
really,
class.
really the definition of cultural appropriation. Of course, you don't have to go and study the whole history of hip hop, but in little ways, paying respect. Because I also believe when you know the essence of the dance, you're so much more able to embody it. Like, for example, samba, cumbia, the movement of the feet, they were coming from the time of slavery, right? When the chains were on the feet and they were trying to make foot patterns in very small ways to move. And this is brilliance. Also, we have in Lebanon, debke, which is a dance of the stomping the feet. And this was a way for the villagers to come together and build the roofs of the houses together.
Mm.
And it was a symbology of this is my land. So when we know where the steps are coming from, this incredible resilience, resourcefulness, creativity, just this knowing, we feel the power of this dance. It has a different meaning. When you know it, you cannot not know it. And doesn't mean that all the time you have to be occupied with, oh, but it's coming from pain. But no, somewhere in your body, you know it. And then you're like, wow,
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
that's good.
Because that's a very good answer. Because what you're talking about, it's the balance, right? There's a balance to it. It's like it's not that you're not indoctrinating people into your like forcing. It's like hey, here it is, but it's like guys, like if you want to take my class, we are going to listen to one song and we're gonna sing in silence. If you don't fuck with it, don't worry about it. Take a
Yeah,
hit.
and I think people
I love
have
it.
a
I love
very
it. I think
hard
it's really
time, sorry to interrupt you, a very hard time to allow things to coexist. Like things
yeah,
can
yeah,
either be
yeah,
happy or they can be sad. For
yeah.
example, if somebody says to you, I'm sad, but I'm doing great. Instead of saying, I'm sad and I'm great. Why cannot we be comfortable with both? It's like in our
Yeah.
dance, even the more we can feel, the more our dance also becomes expressive. If we can only be happy, what kind of dance would that be, you know?
Mm.
And the more embodied you are, the more you can express. And
Mm.
that's so much more interesting.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I sorry to, but I can also only imagine how otherwise we could never dance because there is pain in the world all the time somewhere. And if we are stopping ourselves from knowing or from feeling that and always feeling guilty for trying to be happy or actually dancing and making ourselves feel better. Like those things needs to, as you said, coexist.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're also, if you only feel the pain, you can not spread the world, like the love around the world. And this is what I feel like you're such a good symbolic of like if you would feel and stop yourself from dancing because the people of Lebanon is suffering, then yeah, your classes wouldn't be able to continue. But in that sense, you're bringing people into your world and showing that duality. And it's, yeah, it just becomes like, are we, if we danced in like two-dimensional, we are now dancing five-dimensional. We're now tapping into to emotions, which is essentially every core, I feel like, of every dance. And yeah, so you're so right. And it's like the same like hip hop. Yes, you can take hip hop steps, you can have fun with hip hop, you can go to a battle. But why, if you never have an interest of where it comes from and the struggle of Bronx, or if you don't understand like, oh, this is a style that came from Black or minorities in this area, then you will maybe never get the references. You will never be actually able to do these techniques because you have never seen the creators. You've never seen
Uh,
people doing it. So
Yeah, right. And it's also because like we like culture, we like culture. Like I love culture. So for me, it matters. It's like this is why we're having this podcast because I want to hear more about dance culture, right? But it's yeah, it's like you're saying, it's the gray zone. I think the answer is in the gray zone. It's like no, you don't need. I'm not telling you to speak Arabic. I'm telling you to understand what is happening in the country that you are or in the region rather with the dance you are enjoying. And with that, I would just love to. I ask a lot of questions, but it's also because I gotta leave, so I have a lot of questions. So I gotta
I
leave in like
love
10
it. I
minutes.
love it. Keep them coming.
I have I do a coaching. So I train dancers in mental and physical coaching. And I believe it's 2020, 2021, I had some students from Lebanon, and they were still around. And some of them just had to stop rather, or just because of just whatever happened in Lebanon. It was just terrible accidents and just accidents, I guess is the wrong word. It was war. It was just hardship, fucking colonialism. That's literally what was happening over there, or was happening. So we had this big initiative where we said that okay, but everybody who's want to sign up and want to join us and come and train that are from Lebanon, come train for free. Like you don't need to pay nothing. If you have internet access, good, like awesome. If you don't have internet access, here's the download links. Just find internet, download it, do your thing. But could you just highlight a little bit for our listeners what is happening in Lebanon right now?
Shall we take another 3 hours for that? Basically, let me see where I should start.
because it's a long
Yeah,
history.
it's a bit tough to say, but like it started with the French colonization that really separated the people, that separated religion, because we used to be one. Like we didn't know each other's religion, but after French colonization, because the French took like became buddies with the Christians, then we became segregated, and there became internal conflict. And from there it went like, when the people are weak, you get more and more countries butting in. And then Israel, we have such a beautiful country, so they want it. We have the mountains, we have the sea, so we get bombed. Many times there was this explosion a very big explosion in Beirut that happened.
Yeah, that was it.
So basically, it's a very, very beautiful, beautiful country. And the situation, not the situation, the location is so incredible, right? Because it's
Yeah,
in the Mediterranean Sea. It has like both like valleys and mountains and the coast and
huge coastline.
amazing resources. It's tiny, it's super tiny. It's like 4 times smaller than the Netherlands.
Really?
Yeah, even 5 times smaller than the Netherlands. It's super tiny, but super rich, and that's why, like, yeah, it's very much wanted and loved. It was called the Switzerland of the Middle East, of the Arab world, or the, yeah.
Mm.
So, and then economic crisis happened in Lebanon, and it's a lot of things. And now Israel is bombing daily, even though they called for a ceasefire. So it's drama.
Mm.
Wow.
I feel so fortunate that 2017, I got to perform in the Beirut Salsa Festival
No
by
way.
Chris, what's his name? I forgot his name now, but there's a hip hop dancer there who's doing salsa and hip hop. And I got to see it 2017, and
Oh,
just knowing
Wow.
that was before the harbor exploded, and obviously we checked in also with the dancers there, and just like they were like the dancers, the hip hop dancers that was also in the salsa scene, like we had such a good time with them.
you were
Like
in Beirut?
yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
Did you party your ass off?
I did, and I ate
The best
also.
parties.
It's the best. It's the best. Like we had a guy who took us around because we were like, we want to see the mosque. We went into the big mosque. We
Yeah.
went up to that Jesus statue on the
Oh,
top there.
yeah.
And but the food,
Yeah,
ah,
right.
the
Food.
people, that was the best. Just to like be with the locals and eat what they eat and
Yeah.
just feel that generosity. I felt very fortunate, and I felt also like probably like most people when they come to Beirut or Lebanon, it's like you feel ashamed because I never knew how green it was.
Yeah.
Like I never understood how like lush it is.
Yeah.
And we always see this, Middle Eastern like
Aladdin.
videos of just desert and drought and Syria and Lebanon and all these beautiful places that are so green, that has coast, that has like mountains. Yeah, it's
And that are so modern also, right?
exactly.
It's
I
not like
felt
we're
so
living like
ashamed.
bah, 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 with the camels walking around. I get like calls,
Oh my gosh.
Sebastian, of like calls like, hello, we are looking for a belly dancer. We have a 1001 night Arabian night theme. Will you come and dance? I'm like, no fucking way.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. But yeah, so I feel like as a dancer I still feel like dancers know so much more culture than like just regular people in general, because we kind of meet different dancers, and still, like when I got there, I was like, whoa, like there's so much more to learn, so much more to know. But I feel very fortunate to have seen it before all this chaos. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And with that being said, I feel like you are on a mission. Like, I mean, just from a marketing standpoint, congratulations. Like, you have started to reach the crowd that you are worthy of. And so, beyond, we all know how hard it is with like reaching, and especially on like Instagram. I think Sebastian's account has been hacked about 3 times now.
Let's not talk about this. Let's not
Let's
talk
not
about
talk
it.
about it. It's a
Let's
trauma
not
for
talk
him.
about it. It's a trauma.
But you have
They are
started.
Meta is listening, so we don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But you have started to really get some good amount of followers, and I do
Let's
feel
go.
like
Congrats.
you have started like to get more people to just get a little nugget of wisdom. What has been like your strategy of reaching people lately?
Listen, honestly, it's like a bittersweet thing because I'm like, I've been doing this for 14 years, dude. It's about fucking time,
Yeah.
really. Like, no, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes I see like certain accounts of non-Arab dancers that have just a couple of videos of like belly dancing in the costume, and they have like 10,000 more followers than me.
Mm.
So it's a painful thing. I'm like, hallelujah.
Yeah.
It's starting to grow. And also, I get shadow banned a lot because I'm very vocal and political, because I will always be like that. Um, I think it's just consistency and trying to create like weekly tutorials where I teach people little things. And then uh, my bend your knees video went viral. I'm trying to allow people, trying to educate people to not lock their knees. That this one helped a lot. And it's just been consistency, like, yeah,
So much time,
so
so
much
much
time,
time.
so much editing.
Oh,
Like, no,
Tell
did
me
not
about it.
fall from the sky. Like,
you
I
were
say it.
every follower.
yes.
I say it all the time. I'm like, guys, I just can't wait to be an overnight success. Like, I just can't wait to wake up and it's like, boom, I got 1 million followers. It's like, fuck yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I just wait for that day to come.
I mean, we had this conversation, and I said to
Yeah.
you, I just like I gave up. I don't even look anymore because it just is it doesn't matter sometimes. It feels like it doesn't matter how much you put in there and
Nah, yeah.
how much effort and time, and even if you invest into it, you just don't know.
You
You
don't
just
know.
don't know.
You don't know. And you feel like but what you want to make sense out of it. And you
Uh,
become this nutty professor, like, but why does this cat video have 1 million views? And I put so much work into this tutorial and it just gives me 1,000, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a frustrating thing. So I'm like, you know what? I give all my love and we shall see.
Yeah.
we shall see.
Inshallah.
We shall
No,
see. I think that's the way of just like, listen, I started dancing because I want to do art, not to fucking hack an algorithm. It's like, that's not my thing. I dance. That's what I do. I create art. That's what the fuck I do.
and have meaningful meetups and conversations like
You
this. It's
know?
like it doesn't matter who's out there listening because the three of us have a great
Because I have a good time.
Beautiful.
And
Guys, and with that being said, I would love to continue to have this conversation, but I'm going to leave you to have a
go for it.
fantastic day. Thank you
Go
so
for
much.
it.
Sebastian, one
You
day I'd love to do a kizomba with you. I love
Yes.
kizomba.
That I can
You
fake
also
it.
use
I can
such
fake it.
great belly dance isolations with kizomba, I think.
I would love that. I would love that. I'm coming to Amsterdam in during the summer for sure. So we'll find a date. We'll find a date. Thank you so much. You got yourself one more followers.
Yes. All
Talk
right.
to you
See
soon.
you.
All right.
See you. Bye
Ciao.
bye.
Bliss.
With that being said, we're not done. So let's get comfortable. Let's get comfortable. I want to get into, since it's now only women left in the
Just between us
conversation.
girlfriends.
Let's get into the girl talk now. Because I have some physiological questions.
Yes.
Okay. So do you know any research that that backs up what we kind of all know, that like moving our body, and especially women, moving our hips and our sacral chakra, like what does it do for us? I mean, we know it has benefits. What do you usually tell your students when it comes to like the benefits of women moving your pelvic area?
Yeah. So the pelvis, the hips, it's like the belly, it's like the seat of our emotions. It's the space of our safety. We also know like the root chakra, the sacral chakra. It's really our sense of safety, our sense of grounding. So I've had very often in my classes or in my private sessions that by shaking, by moving, a lot comes up. Sometimes a lot comes up in the inability to move freely. And that is really confronting and really painful sometimes, like feeling restricted. And that brings up a lot of pain and a lot of shame. And then it's beautiful to see somebody work through that and try to find their freedom, because in a lot of ways we build that tightness through maybe cultural shaming or blocks, or trying to keep ourselves safe by maybe not sexualizing ourselves. So a lot of information is in our hips. There's this gripping maybe, and just like shaking and releasing can bring space. And sometimes when we create space, things pop up, emotions, questions, pleasure. Yeah. And it's just a matter of allowing, and just holding space for everything that wants to be felt.
What kind of women comes to your classes? I mean, you seem to have a big variety of women because you're teaching in different spots and so on. But do you see like common kind of they come in like this and they leave like this? Do you have typical women that actually find you or that you get to help along this journey?
Yeah. I think you can relate to this. They have one thing in common. They're awesome.
Yes. Yes.
They're just awesome.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm so sorry because they're so diverse. I don't know how to specify. They're awesome. They're like eager to learn. They're sweet. They're of all cultures.
All ages?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really, the thing, it's awesomeness.
I mean, it's also so cool because I think that you also feel like that sometimes when we get all these students, and especially when you're like, I don't even know how you found me. Like, I don't even
Yes,
know like
yes,
how you found me. But in
yes.
a way, when you start getting to know them, and you, especially if we get to work with them over several weeks or months or years, there's somehow like a reflection, a little piece of us are reflected in them and the other way around. And I think that that's the most beautiful thing with especially teaching women. It's like, wow, like there's also women like that. And even though I'm the teacher in this role, like I'm just so, I look up
Really.
to them so much.
Yeah.
And they reflect certain parts of me. It could be an earlier version of me that maybe a little bit insecure or maybe a little shy, or it could be somebody who's like completely free in their 60s and like have no fucks to give and really wants to go for it. And I'm like, I that's me.
Goals.
That's me too. I'm not there yet, but that's me.
Yeah.
That's me wanting to try something new late in life and
Yeah.
just going for it without no shame.
Totally. And T, the more authentic and unapologetic I became as a teacher, the more aligned my students became with me. The more beautiful my group is. If I may share one example.
Of course.
Just very honestly, it's not a secret. I talk about it openly, but I struggle sometimes with panic attacks and like anxiety attacks. And I think it was, last week I had a panic attack in class. And I taught my first class without saying anything. And then I was like, the second class, either I'm going to cancel it or I need to be open with it. I can't not be honest. I just can't. I'm going to have a freak out if I don't tell them. They're going to feel me. So I decided to tell them, like, listen up. I'm having a panic attack. This is happening now. I feel very horrible and I'm going to give you the best time I can. I might cry, this might happen, and I'm going to teach you the class. And you see them kind of like worried and they're like, what do we do? What do we do? And I'm like, please, please, you don't have to fix it. Just give me the space to feel how I'm feeling. You're okay. So they're like, okay, of course, they're a bit nervous, like, oh, teacher is not doing well. Yeah. And then at some point, I'm shedding some tears. And then, okay, then the mood is like, okay, they know. And then I feel safe. They know. And then we can all relax because it's out in the open. And then it was a beautiful class. It was loving. It was joyous. It was connected. And then the week after, I came back to class and I saw that the students returned. And I'm like, they're back. They're back. And that means something to me because I showed a very naked part of myself. And as a teacher, you're like, but they're paying, they should be having a fantastic time, and I should be top game because, it's not cheap to do a class and they invested their time and we want to have them have fun, fun, fun. But they saw this side and yet they're back. And that means something because people that are afraid to feel would be so triggered by this and not come back. So in a way, these students are also aligned and willing to feel. Otherwise, they wouldn't come back. And that means a lot because then we can work deeper.
Wow, like now Sebastian has already left, but he used to struggle with panic attacks on like a daily, and training was the only thing that could fix it, and that's why he just started this whole dance specific training thing. But when he described his panic attacks, that was like somebody come with a car and get me now.
Yes.
How could you teach a class with it? Like, if you don't mind sharing, how does it play out for someone like me and others who have luckily never had to experience
Alhamdulillah.
it?
Alhamdulillah,
Yeah.
hopefully never. Um, so I recently asked in Instagram, how does it, to those that have ever experienced, how does it feel to you? And I got so many interesting answers of somebody said like Burj Khalifa is on my chest, or
Oh, whoa.
somebody said somebody sucked out the air in my lungs and I forgot how to breathe. Me personally, I feel like I'm surrounded by hyenas and I know they're not there, but I feel like I'm gonna be attacked. Like there's this kind of danger feeling. My body feels there's unsafety. And so in my classes, when it hits me, I try to do something that has always been very helpful, and that is to feel love, to focus on love. So I look around and I'm like looking at these students and I'm like thinking, they came to my class. Look at them doing their best. They're so sweet. They're so sweet. I love them. I love them. I see somebody smiling. I'm like, oh, I love your smile. I love your smile. And this softens me. I'm like, okay. And then I talk to myself. I'm like, it's okay, sweetheart. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get through this. And then I can relax. And sometimes it's so intense that I have to tell.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's much better than before. But if I tell them, the hiding, it's so much more triggering than being open about it. And people feel, and then it's like there's something off. And when it's in the light, everybody can take a breath. Ah, that's why she's weird. Or maybe they cannot tell, but I don't know. So just putting it out, I guess. And love, grounding, also grounding. Okay, this is my feet. Here are my feet. This is the ground. One song at a time. Okay, one song, one beat at a time. Look, I'm wearing yellow. There's the mirror. I'm hearing music. This is a nice, it's very, like you're holding yourself as a little child, like, okay, my love, we'll get through this.
Wow. When you were talking, like it's very hard to not also feel very emotionally touched by it, but it reminds me so much about the biggest lesson I've learned as when I became a mom,
Oh,
and that is what you were saying, like they feel it, right? So there is no hiding. Like she knows when I'm upset, and she comes with her little hand and she says, "Okay, mama,"
no.
and in the moment, it might be that I'm angry at her, And so when she comes and she's like, "It's okay, mama," I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, it's okay," And then I like have to just suppress it. But that one thing is for sure, and that is like, if we don't speak about it, we are not teaching other people that it's okay. And just how I have to explain, like, mama is crying right now, but it's mama's gonna be okay. And just what you said, like, you don't have to fix me. And I think that a lot of women just right away becomes like, I need to mother you, I need to nurture you. Do you want me to hug you? And everyone just wants to hug you. And you're like,
Don't cry.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no, let someone
yeah.
cry. Crying is amazing.
Yeah. And you don't always have to make like to give them space and to say, to trust, like she can mother herself, she got this. And sometimes a hug is all we need to get in order to release. But when you're in a moment of like, I need to center myself, the last thing you want is like 20 people trying to hug you, or like trying to comfort you. At least that's how I am.
100%.
And I think that that's something that we need to just be honest with the feelings. And as you say, like, don't fix me, just do you. And I just let you know how it is. That is for me also to to let other people feel the same,
Yeah.
that when they are not okay, that's okay,
Yeah.
you know?
That acceptance
Yeah.
can be such a gift.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to change.
Yeah.
You don't need to be happy for me to love you.
No.
I love you happy. I love you sad. I love you in all your. It's the biggest gift. It's unconditional. And it's really, really a gift to give each other, I believe, in this world. I think it would solve a lot of problems.
Love unconditionally.
Yeah, to maybe just accept each other in our different states of feeling, right? Yeah.
I feel like you also, as a person, you like wear your heart on your sleeve. Like you are when I think about you, it's like you are such a loving person, and your passion and your love and your emotions and your feelings, it's just like your brand. Like you are, and it's so beautiful to witness. Where do you think it comes from?
I think I learned the hard way that it's impossible for me not to be myself. Otherwise, my body will start to object. It's actually sometimes it would be handy if I could hide a little bit how I feel.
Like professionally.
In all kinds of ways. Like, it's just impossible for me to kind of like not be authentic, because also this not being authentic or not being completely honest gives me anxiety. It's like I need to go against my nature. Yeah, and also I guess I learned that being vocal about your inner love world makes a difference. Like sometimes maybe we think things like, oh, she looks good. Say it. Don't be greedy. Be generous with your love. Be generous with your compliment. If you feel them, if you don't feel them, don't say them. Then it's fake. But if you're feeling it, you know, T, I love you. You're amazing.
I love you too.
Wallah.
I love that. I love that about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really feel like you are that kind of dancer, not just a teacher, but that kind of dancer that when you go into a room, like more people starts being vocal and more people starts sharing. And I think that you're such a good role model in that. So thank you. I want to say that because I also seen you around my own students, and you're just a bliss. You're just a bliss in the room. And I know it's like internal compliment showering here, but
Yes.
it's a part
We're
of the
all
love.
for it. Yeah. The thing is, honestly, also, if I don't like stuff, I also say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's all or
That
nothing.
upsets. Yes. This is yeah.
What kind of quest are you on? Because now you have, as I said, like you have started to get a bigger reach. You've started to do, I mean, you have probably done it for a while now, but like you do international bookings, and I feel like they are also like they are very specific bookings, like the one you did or are going to do in London, for example.
Yeah, that's actually my first.
Is it?
Yes,
Okay,
it's my
wow.
first international thing.
Wow.
And I'm like, yes,
Like,
finally,
let's keep them coming. Yeah. And I feel like now when you started to then open this door, what kind of quest, what kind of dreams and route are you on? Because you have taught for 14 years, like you know how to teach. Now, is that what you want to keep doing in the shape that you're doing it now, or is there other things that you want to invite more?
Beautiful. Okay. I guess there's this thing called online, right? And I feel it's this area. I'm such an in-person teacher. I want to be around my students. I want to like hug them and speak to them. And so this online world of teaching online, I feel it's a world I want to discover more, because as you grow on Instagram as well, like people start to ask, can you teach online? Can you teach online? So this is a world I want to discover. This is one of the things, because it can also give you freedom to move around. And personally, lately, or at least the last couple of years, I've been craving more and more time for me to study myself, to have time to teach less and learn more, to go, for example, to Morocco and study with some teachers, to go to Egypt and study with some teachers, and really work on my own creative expression more and more and more. So hopefully less teaching, more growth. So for example, my schedule is so busy, but I really don't want to miss your course. I've been reading a book called The Artist Way, and you're supposed to have an artist date. And you know that your class is my artist date?
I love that. I love that. I love that so much.
It's my artist date.
I love that.
Because all I'm doing is like working. And your class for me, it's like, okay, you know what? I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna go to that class and feed my soul. So yeah. Of course, I want to keep doing activism, doing fundraising, doing work of love, of heart, teaching, everything. But also, I want to fill my cup.
Yeah. I was just about to say you have to. Otherwise, you're going to run dry and you don't want to be resentful. You know, you don't want to start feeling annoyed by all these things or losing the spark. So we have to.
Totally.
We have to. Oh, I love that. And do you think that you mentioned theater. Do you think that you're also going to venture into that more?
Maybe later. First, I just want to have like drinking up all the knowledge just for my own pleasure, dancing again for my own pleasure, and learning, and then seeing what can come out naturally out of it. But I hope in the future something will that happen, like more with dance and theater and expression and storytelling.
I love that. I want to see that more. And if you want to see that more, people out there, you should comment below. You should make sure to bring Sarah on your events because I'm sure she's open.
Also for Kizomba, I feel like learning all these isolations, I think, right?
It's time. Well, it's time we know.
It's time.
Yeah, because we can say we're doing a bachata body roll, but actually there's so much more going on with hips in Kizomba that we should take some other inspiration from.
I agree.
I hear a collabo. Yes, yeah, we should do that.
I would love to. You're one of my favorite dancers of all time, huh?
Man,
honestly.
I mean, the love is right back at you. No, we have to do more things. We have to do more things. The values are there, the mission is there, and I also think that once you get together with, especially with female artists, I think it sends such an important message, and that is that there's room for all of us. There's an abundance, and something I learned the other day, the universe is not on a budget. We sometimes think that there's limited opportunities and limited amount of money or limited spots, and that we as women have to always like fight for it or grab whatever we can because there are so few opportunities. But actually, since I moved to this country, I've definitely felt like the more I meet dancers and especially collaborating, whatever workshops, shows, or events, that's where you reach more people. You reach and you introduce each other for one another, and that just grows like this stronger and stronger community. So yeah,
amazing.
We should keep doing it.
Beautiful. I want to say, because what you said, like the universe is not on a budget, I love this. So there's an Arabic word called rizqa, and it means like treasure, right? Something like that. So there's this belief like every person is born already with a treasure, and nobody could take that away from you. It's your treasure in life. It's yours.
So wow, beautiful.
We all have our treasure.
We are the treasure. I love that. Thank you. Is there anything that you want to send out to people who are maybe curious about taking your course or courses, or maybe try Raqs sharqi? Like, is there anything you want to say to the people out there?
If in doubt, come. Don't worry, just come. You'll have a good time, and it's okay. It's okay to not get it directly because it's an art form that takes practice and dedication. It's like a sweet, delicate flower that takes time to bloom. You can follow me on Instagram for tutorials. You can practice online and, just like see what's coming up. Yeah, show yourself, all faces of you. Be free in your expression. Cry without saying sorry. Be unapologetically you. The world needs you.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it.
I
Thank you,
love
T.
it.
Thank you,
Thank
Sebastian.
you. Thank you. I want to send those little hearts out. They're not always coming. It's
You
like
have to hold, right?
Yeah, it's a patience game. Oh, there we go. Amazing.
Yay.
We will link everything in the description below. And until then, see you next week. Don't forget to click subscribe, comment below, and give us a rating or review. We have a Facebook page, YouTube page, and we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, so don't forget to tag us in your favorite episode and share it with the world, because we read all of it.